So here we see an example with some wainscoting up and around the landing, and we start with a bullnose and some post-to-post systems with a quarter turn towards the post. And you see here also some balusters on the outsides, and then also on the floor we have some metal balusters, some landing nosing, and a rosette towards the wall. So now we start a new project and we can fill out the project parameters, but in this case we don't want to start printing something, so I just leave it. Floor to floor height important, in this example 120, and we have some floor and flooring thickness, and you can also choose textures. In this case we will have a hickory floor, but we have a bunch of pictures available in the database. So we are now in plan view, so we have different views in Staircon, and we will start to create a floor opening. We also have different ways of creating floor openings, but in this case we choose a wizard. Different shapes are available. In this case I fill out the length, the B measurement, and also the C measurement, or in this case the A, and we create a floor above to copy all the walls to the second floor automatically. So now we place it in the center of our screen. I just basically push enter, also place it horizontal, and we place now the stair down here. As you can see, we have a lot of models already set up in our database, a lot of newels, balusters, all these kind of things are preset. And in this case, we take this post-to-post system with 6710 handrail and 4810 newel post with some iron balusters on the external side. But again, a lot of different models, and we will make also more movies to show you what is already in the standard database. So I place automatically. Also the run you can place here, so we have a 10-inch run, and when the stair is placed it pops up that box, properties of the stair, and you see that in this model it already has a starting newel, it has already an up easing on the start with the quarter turn, and basically the stair is already done. But we're gonna adjust it based on this stair. So you see that the wall is not long enough, so we're gonna make it a little bit longer. And we have some options here as well to just snap it to existing items. But if I want to have it, let's say 5-inch from the nosing, I put in a helpline. You can snap to points, move it, and when you snap to points that are the same, like the walls and the floor opening, you can choose if you want to move both of them, or in my case now the wall by itself. So I just clicked on the wall and I moved it. So the same we can do for the next floor. If we want to go to the next floor and we make this wall longer, so I do the same with the starting, just to make it the same length. And now the end, I put in again a helpline, very easy. Then I can snap to those points, just like in other CAD systems. You can pick points and you can move them and snap to the intersections. So you can snap to endpoints, midpoints, intersections, perpendicular, and so on. So let's look now in 3D, and basically our stair is already as good as done. So you see that we have the balustrade, the balusters on the outside, but we want to have some balustrades on the floor with the landing nosing and some wainscoting. So still some fine tuning to do. Going back to this floor, and you will see here that these are the balusters. So you can go to the properties and you can pick another one if you want. You can change the finishing, etc. And you can see in 3D how it looks. So you see now here also I push on F7, properties of the stair, and we can cover the underside because I saw it was open. So now it's going to be closed. And then we check in 3D. Now we will maybe make some wainscoting. So let's zoom out. So here are the stringers. I select as a group the stringers and I do Control R, sorry, to make the stringers to have them already some balustrades on the wall. And here you see that I can go automatically to the balustrade properties and change them to another style. So if you see now, these are some standard balustrades on the wall with some wall brackets. But in the example that we want to show you is that we do some wainscoting. So I go again to the properties of the balustrades and we pick the preset wainscoting. So again, the more you set up in the database, the faster and easier it's going to be to work with Staircon. So I make them now also white painted. And then we can also go to the connection. So I go to the properties of this balustrade, and here you see in the corner we don't want to have them ending like this, but we want to have them mitered. So when you look in 3D, we're basically done. Wainscoting up and around. So here we see a piece of wall that doesn't have anything yet, so we can just lengthen it out. Going to the properties of this balustrade, and to the upper end we can say the height and the length. So in this case the height at ending 38 and then an extra length of 40, because I know that I made an extra wall of 40 inches long. So now that's done as well. So basically balustrades on the floor is what's left. So we go to the next floor, and Staircon can recognize when there's a wall not to place any balustrades, and when there's a stair end also not to do that. So to do these things automatically, when you've set it up in the database, Staircon knows exactly what to do. So we just say OK, it created the balustrade, and you see in 3D we don't have to change much, because you see we have the balustrade at the right position, linked with the posts. You saw the rosettes at the wall, and you see here the properties of the floor opening changed automatically, and it has already some fascia with some thickness that we would typically use, and it has also landing nosing that is fitting with the model of that stair. And we can choose here if we want to have other models or another material, and you can check it in 3D how that is looking. So here you see, if you zoom in, you see the nosing, and you see actually also the floor opening now covered with the fascia. So it looks quite finished yet, maybe some up-easing. Other than that, we are as good as done. So this is the elevation view. You see the wainscoting up and around on the left view, now the right view. Also the stringers can have different settings and also different connections. So I say not connected on the lower side, so it makes straight stringers. I click here and make a gooseneck. So because this was a post to post, it was making it straight, the connection, but I still can change it to create the goosenecks as well. When you have a post to post or an over the post system, we will show that in other movies as well, then you see that these goosenecks are done automatically. But this is basically the demo that we wanted to show you this model. Feel free to also have a closer look at the Sketchfab model, where you have a link from underneath this recording.